2019 has been an exceptionally successful year for residents of the Pomeroon-Supenaam region. Over the last 12 months, the government of Guyana has tremendously invested in the development of the region. On this InfoHub Extended, we take a look at some of the many projects which have contributed to the transformation of Region 2.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Traveling to the Pomeroon-Supenaam by speedboat, the first thing you are greeted with is the rehabilitated speedboat stelling.
What was once considered a safety hazard has now been upgraded to a state-of-the-art stelling with a beautiful boardwalk.
Also on the infrastructural front, 2019 saw the commissioning of 2 bridges in Raqqa Powell.
In March, the $20 million timber walkway was officially commissioned. The new 1,284-feet wooden bridge is equipped with steel rails along with solar lights and 3 huts in case of rain. It links Mairi and Baroda, 2 of 40 islands in Raqqa Powell. Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable David Patterson, and Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Sidney Alicock, and Region 2 Regional Executive Officer Dennis Jaikaran were present at the commissioning ceremony. Minister Patterson explained that the project was initiated after the hardship residents endured traversing the makeshift bridge along a treacherous path was highlighted at the National Tushaus Conference, NTC, in July 2018.
You have to congratulate him on his persistence. I mean, he persisted. Met him at, he got up at the National Tushaus Council, the first time we met Tushaus, and he said, on behalf of the people of Raqqa Powell, I'm here to talk about my bridge. He said, we have it on social media, we put it on Facebook, we've been crying for a bridge for years, and nobody in the walkway, and nobody listens to us. So I said immediately that was August. Was August?
July.
July. So immediately I said, Tushaus, I heard you, we'll do something for you, you know what I mean? And I also said to him, go back to your community and say to them that we're going to be doing the work and we would like community participation and community involvement.
A total of $5 million worth of timber was purchased from the community. The minister explained that of the $20 million allocated to the project, only $16 million was spent on the bridge itself. Minister Patterson said the remaining sum will be utilized for another small project. The residents have already signaled that the school's walkway needs urgent attention. Minister Alicock spoke of the transformation that has happened over the past 3.5 years, especially in the hinterland, some of the major achievements being the establishment of 4 new capital towns, Mabaruma, Madja, Bartica, and Letham. He reminded the people of the government's commitment to bridge the gap between the coastland and the hinterland, and the construction of the bridge is a manifestation of that commitment.
A few months later in June, another bridge, this time valuing $1 million, was constructed and commissioned in Upper Korea, Yashir Mima to allow for easier access to the school and health center in the Pomeroon-Supenaam village.
The bridge will allow for easier access to the Mairi area, which is considered to be the commercial zone. The road leading to the Yarushima Primary School was also rehabilitated. According to Minister Alicock, the project is delivering on a promise made to the community.
We are very happy that we could continue to deliver what you have asked for and what we have promised you.
The bridge was part of the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Capital project. The works were done by the villagers who also provided the materials for its construction.
This project this morning is part of a program. And that part of the program would have allowed you, the community, to be a partner in this developmental process.
Still on infrastructure, residents along the coast said goodbye to the constant blackouts with the commissioning of the 5.4 megawatt power plant at the cost of $1.81 billion in April 2019.
After years of neglect under the previous administration, the living standard of residents in Essequibo has been elevated with the recent commissioning of a 5.4 megawatt power plant in Regina. The power station was commissioned in Regina to boost the electricity grid of Essequibo.
All these appliances and stuff, people think it's damaging and things, so, I think it'll be a great help, man.
In the past, we were getting frequent blackout. People getting their fridge damaged, the chicken damaged because they got them in the fridge. Right now, the power plant will benefit the people in the community and on the whole coast.
Usually we will buy stuff, pack it up in the fridge for weeks of blackout, just a few hours, it will spoil, so people will spend less. So this is a really, really wonderful initiative and, we are so appreciative of it.
At the commissioning of the power plant, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson said it is equipped with 3 standby containerized CAT sets with a generation power of 5 megawatts. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu delivered the feature address.
All of these things are important for Guyana, the uniform supply of electricity. All these things are coming to you from a government that has promised you to deliver.
In education, the regional administration on March 29 commissioned 2 nursery schools at Cottonfield and Lake Mainstay. The commissioning ceremonies, which were held separately, began in the compound of the $20.4 million Cottonfield Nursery School and saw the turnout of parents, regional officials, and well-wishers. The work on the school was done by M. Sakai Contracting Services and was completed in December of 2018, 4 months after commencement. After commissioning the Cottonfield Nursery, the team moved to Lake Mainstay and officially opened the $9 million nursery school there. The school has the capacity to house 50 students. A similar ceremony was held at the Lake Mainstay Nursery to mark the momentous occasion in the indigenous community. Government also took their services to the people of Essequibo. In May, ministers and officials of the government continued their nationwide outreach, this time to the Pomeroon-Supenaam region.
Booths were set up at Damon Square and Regina where government ministries and agencies offer their services to the people. Some of the agencies and ministries present included the Ministries of Natural Resources, Social Protection, Public Infrastructure, Public Health, Business, Agriculture and Communities, the Ministry of the Presidency's Department of Social Cohesion, Culture, Youth and Sport, Department of Citizenship, the National Insurance Scheme, the Ghana Water Incorporated GWI, and the Ghana Lands and Surveys Commission GLSC, among many others. Residents assembled from very early, some to address housing matters, some seeking employment, just to name a few. Regional Executive Officer Dennis Jaikaran Sr., in an interview with the Department of Public Information, said that from the mobilization for the event, it was evident that the Central Housing and Planning Authority and the National Insurance Scheme would be at the forefront of the outreach.
While the outreach was a success, the government returned to the region a few weeks later. This time, ministers and senior government officials ventured to villages along the Pomeroon River. There, residents were given the opportunity to engage with them and voice their concerns.
Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, accompanied by Minister of Business, the Honorable Hemraj Rajkumar, traveled down the Pomeroon River where they met with residents of Martindale. Harmon noted the importance of these community meetings.
These are important things because it brings the benefit of government to the people, and that is what is important. That is what we're doing here today. We're not only bringing the benefits of government to the people, we are bringing the ears of government to the people so that you can actually say to us, what are the matters that affect you most? What are the issues that affect you?
Minister Rajkumar explained that the meeting is another in a series of community engagements the government has embarked on to ensure the needs of Guyanese across the nation are addressed.
We are fulfilling a mandate that was issued to us, all ministers in government, by His Excellency the President, to come to the committees throughout Guyana, which we were doing all along, to listen to the people's concerns, listen to what affects the citizens, so that we at the cabinet, we in Parliament could address their issues at this time, or if we are not able to do so at this time, then we will certainly be able to advise you.
We now turn our attention to public security and legal affairs. Less than 2 years after establishing the first sexual offences court, the Supreme Court of the Judiciary, in collaboration with the British High Commission in Guyana and the United Nations Children Fund, launched the third sexual offence court at Sadi, Essequibo, the first such court on the Essequibo coast.
Under the leadership of Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary Justice Yonette Cummings Edwards, victims of sexual violence have now been given a safe haven to testify without fear or secondary trauma.
What you're about to see here in the Sexual Offences Court in a few minutes and the Special Measures Room will tell you that we've come a long way in ensuring that victims are able to give their evidence in such a comfortable and a dignified way that ensures that justice is done.
Minister of Social Protection, the Honorable Amna Ali, said one of the responsibilities of the government is to ensure that victims have faith in the justice system, and the establishment of the Sexual Offences Court will do just that.
We must be able to tell victims, you are heard. And it's our job to adapt the system to their complex reality, rather than being forced to adapt the system in itself.
The specialized court has a main courtroom that will house the defense counsel, prosecutors, and jurors. It has a closed-circuit system linked up with the special measures room that will allow victims to give evidence without having to face the perpetrators.
Government continues to fulfill its promise of bridging the gap between the hinterland and the coastland with equal access to information. Communities like Adventure, Akwini Mission and Bethany to Mashabo and Cabo Kaburi, and all the way up and down the Pomeroon River, can now tune into Radio Essequibo 95.5 FM, the first such frequency on the Essequibo coast.
On November 30, the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, launched the frequency, which is part of the Voice of Guyana's relay stations. The launch took place at the studio of the National Communications Network, NCN, in Georgetown, simultaneously with the frequency being turned on in Essequibo. During his feature address, the Prime Minister noted that it was indeed an honor to be part of the historic event.
Today is a very historic day in the history of broadcasting and communication, not only for Essequibo, but for the entire Guyana.
The Prime Minister added that Guyana has a plural democratic structure, and it was necessary for government to undertake the process of informing the nation.
This country has now opened up itself to become part and parcel of the worldwide communication system, where citizens are not locked out from receiving information and imparting information as part of the citizens' democratic right.
The project, which costs in excess of $12 million, will serve more than 40,000 people.
Other developments in the region included the rehabilitation of the Anna Regina Post Office, which now has improved security features, caters for persons with disabilities, and has better seating arrangements and washroom facilities for pensioners. There is also a room to house an information and communications technology hub. Also, students living and attending school in the Lower Pomeroon are now assured greater access to education through the donation of a 200-horsepower Yamaha outdoor engine to equip the David G. boat that plies the Lower Pomeroon route. The boat is part of the 5Bs initiative piloted by His Excellency David Granger. The engine was procured at a cost of approximately $4.3 million. This has been another edition of InfoHub Extended, where we focused on major developments in the Pomeroon-Supenaam region. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.